All right, a very good evening to you. It's Late Night Talk back again for another edition this week, today rather. Today happens to be Thursday, the 21st of May, 2020. My name is Kofi Bartels. I'm so happy to be here and glad to be back on Late Night Talk. I want to thank all of you who've been making it a nightly affair to join me on this platform on Facebook and YouTube, on which we're live. Every single weekday, I've been making a deal to give you an hour plus of good information and talk. Yesterday was explosive Wednesday, and the lady who we had as guest had so much to say. She's a bold woman, a medical doctor who was assaulted and slapped by an Air Force officer. We've not heard of the last of that particular situation or scenario because the Nigerian Medical Association are going ahead to pursue that. My name is Kofi Bartels. Once again, this Late Night Talk. And please share this post so that your friends, your colleagues, your mates, and all those who are on your Facebook or YouTube can, even Twitter, can be a part of the conversation. So they can also come in and also share what you are sharing as well, share what you are enjoying as well. Today on Late Night Talk, we're asking you a very simple question. What economic strategies do we need to see government at the state level? We've talked about federal level a lot of times, and the federal government, they are usually the ones who receive a lot of the attention when it comes to the Nigerian economy. We'll keep talking about it, but let's get back to the states across the federation. What strategies do they need to implement to ensure that their economies are put on a sound pedestal post-COVID-19? All over the world, business is starting to reopen again. The airline industry, they're also beginning to come back on stream in different countries of the world. I was watching CNN today, and I saw Richard Quest talking about the airline industry in America. They also talked about the airline industry in Dubai, how they are starting to come back. Emirates, airline, also starting to come back to ensure that they fly to at least 9 routes, as opposed to the 150 they were flying to every day. This time around, doing just 9 routes, which is it's a departure from what they used to. So let's listen to what the governor of Cross River State, Professor Ben Ayade, has had to say. Ayade has been one of the stars of this coronavirus pandemic when it comes to governors in Nigeria. He's been one of the stars. I think coronavirus stardom or attention is between Ben Ayade of Cross River State and Nyesom Wike of River State. Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State is too serious. Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State is too serious. It has become boring. He's too serious. He's trying to make things work. But we've had a good time with Nyesom Wike of River State and Ben Ayade of Cross River State. Let's get over to Cross River State and listen to what Ben Ayade is doing to ensure that his economy is put on a sound footing as far as the coronavirus post-COVID-19 is concerned. Listen.
We implore you to know that your responsibility from today going forward is to put an end to illegal taxes on people. We have a tax law here that prescribes those who are exempted from tax. All those categories of people and those that from time to time may be so announced by the governor, including every single hotel that has less than 50 rooms in Calabar and in the whole state, today are exempted from payment of tax. We have exempted all Okada drivers, taxi drivers, airport taxi drivers. We have exempted small salon owners, small catering and restaurant points, mama put, eatery points. All those small basic survival people selling of produce, struggling to make a living, they have been exempted today from paying tax. We have exempted them because it is better for me as a governor that I rather task my brain than to tax my people. And great perseverance, you have the right for anybody who comes before you to demand tax. You have the right to say, stop. The governor have said we should not pay tax. Why will a small person carry banana from his farm to go and sell, and produce people are there taxing him for produce? Why would somebody carry granite to go to market, and somebody is putting a checkpoint on the road and collecting money from the granite seller? This is not Ben Ayade. This is not my nature. I am not wired for this insensitivity to a weaker person. I have abolished produce tax. Let farmers earn their money. Let them keep their money. Because you didn't give them fertilizer, you did not irrigate the soil, you did not prepare the soil for them, you did not do the land clearing for them. Why do you want to tax them? Why do you put pressure on that your small brother or sister whose situation is much worse? Why would we expect that people who don't have scholarship for their children, who don't have good schools, they struggle to pay, struggle with the uniforms, struggle to have security in their small businesses, struggle to get water with their borehole, struggle with generator, and government is providing almost nothing to come back to such people and tax them? I think this is the greatest injustice. I never knew that 5 years into office as governor, I would still find somebody who could live in a thatch house in Cross River. I almost cried because I knew how prepared I was, but it didn't end the way I had dreamt for the state. And I just think that somewhere God will just help me, because I really wish I could I really wish I could help. It's very painful, truly. I can't put 5 years and I've not been able to do the change I wished. I know of some small people whose businesses are closed because even after signing into law that they should stop collecting tax, I still find people giving political appointment for a completely different thing, and you see them go back to these same people and dragging them and seizing and closing their shops and taxing. If we have to pay tax, let me contact the anti-tax agency. They will give us a tax code whether we fall under the category of those to pay tax or not. So your vehicles, your public life, your telephone numbers will be in the public domain, because everybody must call you to clear whether they have to pay tax or not to pay tax. And so I pick only men of God and women of God to serve here. I charge you that by the time you are done, let your agency be a world-class example for other states and countries to emulate. If God sees into my heart, let him take every single wealth I have. If he can make every single Cross-Riverian rich, if he can take every single Cross-Riverian out of poverty, let Ben Ayade and the Ayades, let us be poor for Cross-Riverians to be comfortable. Let me see Calabar thrive again. And this is part of my post-COVID-19 response.
All right, we're back. I don't know last time you saw a governor cry. Cry because his people are suffering. I don't know last time you saw a governor cry because his people are going through stuff. Oh my, it's really funny indeed. But I think we need to leave the comic part of it. I mean, people are used to laughing these days. Anytime Ben Ayade has something to say, because he's always funny. You know, he has big English, grammar. So he cried. Some people are saying, oh, it's audio money. But I'm not interested in his crying, whether it's real tears or crocodile tears or audio tears, rather. Some people call it audio tears. But we need to have some strategies, to get the economies of the different states in Nigeria. I mean, federal government, we know, will pay attention to them. But beyond the federal government, the state governments are the closest, to the people. Let's not even talk about local governments. I'm sure you know what obtains the local governments. So please, I'd like you to call me right now, 080-620-99556, 080-620-99556, and tell me what you think governments at the state level. And if you're watching from River State, where I'm broadcasting from, I think that's a great place to start, with your suggestions. Call and tell me, what do you think state governments should be doing to prepare the economies for post-COVID era? People have taken a serious hitting. I got a message today on one of my social media channels, and the person who put that message up said he doesn't even know what he's going to give his family to eat. That he lives from what he makes on a daily basis. I'm looking for that message here. He said he lives on what he makes on a daily basis. He lives on what he makes on a daily basis. And he says, I can't feed my family. I can't feed my family. So what can we do, to ensure that the economy is put on a sound footing? Also, yesterday, His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike, lifted the lockdown on Faga and Obiakpo, local government areas of Rivers State. And some of you are just making noise. What are you making noise for? Why are you complaining? Someone saying, oh, what is it with this lifting of the lockdown? Please allow us to remain in a lockdown. What is it with... So I don't know what people want His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, to do. He's eased the lockdown. He said people can go out, and you're complaining. Lockdown, you people will complain. Okay, I ease lockdown, you people will still complain. So what exactly is the problem? Those are two matters on the table for us today. I'd like you to call me right now. Number to call is 080-620-99556. I'll take it again, 080-620-99556, and tell me what do you think about, the governor's easing of the lockdown in Rivers State. And also, secondly, like we said earlier, what do you think needs to be done to prepare the economies of the states in Nigeria for post-COVID-19 era? 080-620-99556. I'll take the number again, 080-620-99556. Let's read some excerpts of His Excellency the Governor's speech, a statewide broadcast yesterday, for those of you who missed it. I'll read it myself. I'm not the governor, but it's quite not too long, so you understand, and then we can take some talking points from there. He says, my dear good people of River State, we reinstated the total lockdown on Obiakpo and Port Harcourt local government areas as part of our measures to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic in our state. It says we also indicated our readiness to review the lockdown from time to time as occasion demands, with the interest of our people as a central basis. Governor Wike goes on to say, although we are only 3 days into the ongoing lockdown, it has become necessary once again to relax the restrictions. Accordingly, the State Security Council has decided to suspend the total lockdown of Obiakpo and Port Harcourt local government areas for 6 days, with effect from Thursday, the 21st of May, 2020. 6 days, with effect from Thursday, the 21st of May, 2020. It goes on to say residents and visitors of these local government areas can therefore go out of their homes for their lawful businesses from tomorrow morning. That's today morning. I went out today myself. And it says that is Thursday, May 21, until 8 p.m. on Tuesday, May 26. Thursday, May 21. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 5 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You start counting from, this month. Thursday to Tuesday is how many days? 5 days. But is it 6 days or 5 days? 6 days. Thursday to Tuesday is 6 days. Yeah, you count Thursday too. You count Thursday. Thursday, Friday. Don't just count Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. So His Excellency the Governor also said it is important to emphasize that the relaxation only allows for free human and vehicular movement and the opening of limited businesses such as banks, supermarkets, shopping malls, and grocery shops. All land, sea, and exit and entry borders and routes into River State shall remain closed. Similarly, all open markets, motor parks, hotels, bars, nightclubs, service restaurants, barber shops must remain shut. Barber shop too. Barber shop. So all of you, but people were going to barber shop this last evening. What happened? So barber shop must also remain shut. Religious gatherings of more than 50% remain prohibited. All public weddings, burials, and other social gatherings also remain prohibited. Remember, note that now it's no longer all weddings, all public weddings. So it seems that now people can actually have private weddings. It seems that now people can have private burial. So private wedding is not public wedding. Private burial is not public burial. You see how the politicians arrange things so that, there'll be a loophole somewhere. Because they might need to take advantage of that loophole. They are friends, they are cronies. So public. It says private and commercial vehicles, including tricycles, keke, must continue to limit the number of passengers to 2 persons daily. Private and commercial vehicles, including tricycles or keke, must continue to limit the number of passengers to 2 persons only. Wait. So, what they're saying is any car, moto. Excuse me, I'm really thirsty. Moto. You can't have more than 2. You can't have more than 2 persons. I don't understand. Is it that? So if I have a car, like a Toyota Sienna, does it mean that I can only carry the passenger, the driver, and 1 person? Private and commercial vehicles, including tricycles, must continue to limit the number of passengers to 2 persons only. So all this while, have commercial vehicles been carrying only 2 people? I don't understand though. So, what do you think about this really? 2 persons only. So if you have, this bus applies Rumokoro to Mawan. All these buses apply Rumokoro to Mawan. Is His Excellency the Governor saying that they have to carry only passenger and 1 person? Now conductor now. that one I lost now. Now lost be that. Now lost be that too. Now lost be that. What do you think about this, people? Call me right now. River State and Cross River State in focus. I mean, the whole country in focus on late night talk. Number 1, what do you make of Governor Nyesom Wike's address broadcast to River State yesterday, and the easing of the lockdown for 6 days or 5 days? 6 days. 6 days. What do you think about it? And of course, the conditions that he's spelled out that need to be adhered to strictly. That's what the government of River State is saying. Secondly, how can states in Nigeria, what strategies can they employ to ensure that the economies are resuscitated? They receive a shot in the arm. They received a reinvigoration, a boost post-COVID 2019. Some states are already implementing policies. For instance, Akwa Ibom State that has formed a economic policy committee, and Cross River State, where the governor has set up an anti-tax agency. The man does not waste time in setting up agencies and aids and offices and all that. So you can drop your comments and you can call as well. The first comment here is from Prince Walamarchuku, says, Kofi, where have you been? I'm here. I think you can see me in front of you right now, my brother. Thank you very much. God bless you. Another one is sent in by Michael Prince Willetta. Michael says, I suggest the payment of rent for this year should be given extra 6 months due to closure of some businesses and bankruptcy. Many of them are facing due to the lockdown. Wow. So are you saying that, I don't understand, Michael Prince, you have to type an explanation. Are you saying that if your rent is due, or once rent is due, your rent is due tomorrow, that the landlord should take the rent from you in the next 6 months? Is that what you're saying? So how would that work? Because we're talking about post-COVID-19 economic resuscitation strategies in states across Nigeria. Will the government, if I'm to go by your suggestion, Michael Prince Adam, can the government order landlords on what they should do on their own private property? Can the government tell the landlords what they should do on their own private property? I need you to tell me tell me that. What do you think about that? And if you're watching too, what do you think about Michael's suggestion? A call right now, 080-620-99556, or drop your comments. Of course, which I'm reading right now. It's streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. So Michael says, I suggest the payment of rent for this year should be given extra 6 months due to the closure of some businesses and bankruptcy many of them are facing due to the lockdown. My dear, it's not easy. It's not easy. I was speaking to someone who runs a school, and even the owners, proprietors of schools, they have to. I mean, when school is on vacation, as long as the teacher is employed, you have to pay him or her salary. Yeah, you have to pay him or her. So even the owners of schools are going through a difficult time. And if the owner of the school, the private school, ends up firing, the teachers, it now becomes more unemployment in the country. Ayebaye Daniel Wanatoy says nothing. He doesn't want the government to do anything. Ayebaye, why are you saying nothing? I need to put a comment up there. Ambassador Chinedum God's Will says, I love the program. Thank you very much. Solomon James Sebong says, I appreciate the federal government for easing the lockdown, but my own is that let the federal government try to create jobs for the youth and stop the manipulation on manipulating them, the so-called task force, where at the end of the day, these youth will begin to regret and turn against innocent Nigerians. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Chiamaka Fediora, good evening to you. She says, Kofi, good work. Thank you. Chiamaka, I really appreciate your message. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Edo P.C. Peter says, let me ask you as a learned person. That's you as a learned person or me as a learned person. Did I tell I'm a learned person? Maybe you as a learned person. It says, what sense does this River State lockdown make to you? You're the one to tell me now what you think about it. You're trying to drag me into a hole. Jump and pass. What sense? Well, you gotta tempt me. You tempt me. Tell me what you think about it. Then I'll tell you what I think about. What do you think about it? Thank you. Timothy Paul. So, Emmanuel, send your message. Send your reply. Timothy Paul Mojesu says, good work, Kofi. Watching you live here in Barnawa, GRA Kaduna. Great to know you're there, my brother. Thanks for your time. Godswill Nwabagi. Good evening to you. Strategic rider Ida Wari. Oh, my God. Boom. Good evening to you. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Idopise says, oh, my heart is broken for Governor Benayade. He is a real man for his people, an outstanding example of a true leader, not power-intoxicated tyrant. I know some people from Cross River who disagree with you. I don't know why they don't see anything good about what Ayade does. I don't know. But there's some people who disagree with you. Call me right now if you would like to do that. 080-620-99556. 080-620-99556. Otherwise, you can drop your message in the comment section, and I'll be very glad to read your message. Eze Chinyere John says, when you have a prof as a governor or a leader, he leads by example. There are 4 governors in Nigeria: Ayade, Obiano, Zulum, and Sanwo-Olu. They lead, others learn. Right? But we're not judging the governors per se. We have one of the best governors in Nigeria, in River State. He is Governor Yeson Wike, the lion of the Niger Delta. Go and argue with the transformer in your village. Yeah. Okay. Izuchuku Pascal Nadi. Is it Nadi or Nandim? I need to see the end. Okay. Nadi says, good evening to you, Izuchuku. He says, that's a good development from Cross River State Governor. Governor should emulate this. I know all this vulture task force in River State will never let it be. Are you sure? I can assure that River State is coming up with its own post-COVID-19 economic stimulus plan very soon. Very soon. Trust me. River State is going to come up with its own post-COVID-19 economic stimulus plan. Soon. Soon. You know, when you read the newspaper headlines, it's the government soon to build power plant. Government soon to pay minimum wage. Government soon, so I'm telling you soon, River State will come up with its own post-COVID-19 stimulus plan. Somebody shout hallelujah. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Kofi. Good evening.
Thanks for joining us. Can you please speak up? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Bayelsa State.
What's your name?
Yeah, I am Pastor.
Caspar.
Pastor.
Oh, Pascal. Pascal, what is the situation in Bayelsa State? We've been on lockdown in River State, and you people have been enjoying, jumping all over the place.
Seriously, we are really enjoying Bayelsa State. I pity all my friends over there in Port Harcourt.
Oh, you pity us in Port Harcourt.
I seriously pity you guys. You guys are really taking seriously help over there. But thank God that the governor have lifted the lockdown. I hope you guys are enjoying over there right now.
Yeah, well, we are trying.
Yeah, that's good. What I want to advise other governors to do is they should emulate what the Cross River State have done. By, yeah, of course, they should. Because as it stands right now, most business, most small business are facing serious issues, serious financial issues. So I believe we should leave some taxes imposed on small businesses. Thank you.
Okay, so hold on, before you go, you want the state governors to reduce the taxes on small business?
Yes, reduce the taxes on small, or even totally stop the tax for now. So they could survive. A situation where some businesses have been shut down. How do they expect them to pay up taxes? How do they even expect them to even take care of themselves? Talk less of paying off the taxes. So I believe other governors should emulate what the Cross River State have done.
What kind of businesses would you like to see taxes being exempt from paying taxes?
Most businesses that like small scale business, like those who run in shares, smaller supermarkets, those who do boutique business and smaller food stuff business. I think there's a situation where the tax cost, like in River State, I know their tax costs are big issue in River State because they don't give them space. Any little thing they start vandalizing their things, they don't pay their tax. So I believe, I don't know whether it's let me talk to your governor UK. The tax costs over there to come down.
Yeah, you want me to tell him.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, he can listen to you. I believe a lot. I believe a lot to you.
Okay.
I talk to him through
Okay.
this media.
Okay.
I'll
I'll tell him.
Yeah, thank you.
My brother, thank you very much. God bless you very much. Okay, I appreciate you calling in. Okay, nice to hear. 08062099556. That's someone who is in Bayelsa State, and given his own experience in Bayelsa State, he says that those in Bayelsa State are enjoying, and he pities us in River State. We're asking firstly, what do you think the state governors should do? Government at the state level should do to stimulate the economies post-COVID-19? And secondly, also for your thoughts on the easing of the lockdown in River State, you can call right now, 08062099556, 08062099556. I'll take it again, 08062099556, 08062099556, and I'll be very glad to hear from you. All right, you can also keep your comments also as well coming in on Facebook and on YouTube. Simply tell me what you think about what we're talking about, and we're very glad to hear from you. So let's get back to Governor Wike's speech while we before we read the next set of messages. Okay, so he goes on to say, private and commercial vehicles, including tricycles, must continue to limit the number of passengers to 2 persons only. The wearing of face masks or coverings in public spaces, including commercial and private vehicles, remains compulsory as contraveners would be arrested and summarily dealt with, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So that is what the governor of Rivers State said. We'll look at this some more. Maybe tomorrow we'll look at this some more. Look for time talk about it. But let's get back to Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State as one example of what state governors are doing to ensure that the economies are stimulated post-COVID 2019. And we're asking, what more can they do? Is it even right? Is it even correct that they reduce taxes? Because, of course, government needs money. And if you support that, what other strategies do you think the governments of states in Nigeria can employ to stimulate the economies post-COVID 2019? Keep your comments coming through. Share this post, and you can call as well when the video ends. 080-620-99556. Let's listen to Ben Ayade, governor of Cross River State.
We implore you to know that your responsibility from today going forward is to put an end to illegal taxes on people. We have a tax law here that prescribes those who are exempted from tax. All those categories of people and those that from time to time may be so announced by the governor, including every single hotel that has less than 50 rooms in Calabar and in the whole state, today are exempted from payment of tax. We have exempted all Okada drivers, taxi drivers, airport taxi drivers. We have exempted small salon owners, small catering and restaurant points, mama put, eatery points. All those small basic survival people selling of produce, struggling to make a living, they have been exempted today from paying tax. We have exempted them because it is better for me as a governor that I rather tax my brain than to tax my people. And great perseverance, you have the right for anybody who comes before you to demand tax. You have the right to say, stop, the governor have said we should not pay tax. Why will a small person carry banana from his farm to go and sell, and produce people are there taxing him for produce? Why would somebody carry granite to go to market and somebody is putting a checkpoint on the road and collecting money from the granite seller? This is not Ben Ayade, this is not my nature. I am not wired for this insensitivity to a weaker person. I have abolished produce tax. Let farmers earn their money, let them keep their money. Because you didn't give them fertilizer, you did not irrigate the soil, you did not prepare the soil for them, you did not do the land clearing for them. Why do you want to tax them? Why do you put pressure on that your small brother or sister whose situation is much worse? Why would we expect that people who don't have scholarship for their children, who don't have good schools, they struggle to pay, struggle with the uniforms, struggle to have security in their small businesses, struggle to get water with their borehole, struggle with generator, and government is providing almost nothing to come back to such people and tax them? I think this is the greatest injustice. I never knew that 5 years into office as governor, I would still find somebody who could live in a thatch house in Cross River State. I almost cried because I knew how prepared I was, but it didn't end the way I had dreamt for the state. And I just think that somewhere God will just help me, because I really wish I could really help. It's very painful, truly. I can't put 5 years and I've not been able to do the change I wished. I know of some small people whose businesses are closed because even after signing into law that they should stop collecting tax, I still find people giving political appointment for a completely different thing. And you see them go back to these same people and dragging them and seizing and closing their shops and taxing. If we have to pay tax, let me contact the anti-tax agency. They will give us a tax code whether we fall under the category of those to pay tax or not. So your vehicles, your public life, your telephone numbers will be in the public domain, because everybody must call you to clear whether they have to pay tax or not to pay tax. And so I pick only men of God and women of God to serve here. I charge you that by the time you are done, let your agency be a world-class example for other states and countries to emulate. If God sees into my heart, let him take every single wealth I have. If he can make every single Cross Riverian rich, if he can take every single Cross Riverian out of poverty, let Ben Ayade and the Ayades, let us be poor for Cross Riverians to be comfortable. Let me see Calabar thrive again. And this is part of my post-COVID-19 response.
Okay, welcome back. That's the governor of Cross River State, Benadi. If we want to talk about, what I think about the video, the content of the video, we will not finish today. We will not finish today because I have a lot of, I don't look at things as people the way people look at them. Not everything is as it seems, but hey, that's the strategy in Cross River State. That's the strategy in Cross River State. They're saying we will not be taxing certain businesses. We are setting up an anti-tax agency. I've never heard of that before. Anti-tax agency, because I know we have I'm sure the equivalent of the Board of Internal Revenue in Cross River State. I'm sure they have the equivalent of the Board of Internal Revenue in Cross River State. So what is an anti-tax agency? Anti means you're against tax now. Do we need an anti-tax agency? A full-fledged agency with vehicles and all that and office space, when everybody's trying to work from home and, you're paying more people. I don't know. I've never heard of that before. But what do I know? That's why I say I don't know. So anyway, what strategies the economy is in Nigeria is being hit hard. In different parts of the world, they are declaring post-coronavirus economic recovery plan. Let's move from Cross River State. Let's go over to Tunisia, where the Tunisian Prime Minister, Elias Fakfak, please don't misunderstand the name. I said Elias Fakfak, announced on Wednesday a program to revive his country's economy after its success in overcoming the coronavirus pandemic. This is what they're doing. They're not they're not building gates. They're not building gates at the boundary of the country. They're thinking. They're strategizing. They're thinking. So Tunisia as a country, and please call me right now on 080-620-99556 if you want to talk about this. Tunisia, an African country. And Northern African countries, were hit harder with this coronavirus. They were hit harder than we in sub-Saharan Africa. So he says, this is our program to revive the Tunisian economy. I'm talking about an African country. Make I not go far. So that was, it's Obodo Ibo. This is Africa. The economic recovery or revival program in Tunisia is based on strengthening national sovereignty and security, preserving the economic fabric, working to revitalize the most affected sectors, and fighting against corruption and impunity, is what they're saying. So, on May 4, Tunisia started the first phase of its national strategy for partial lifting of the lockdown. Blah, 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 blah. Let's just leave it at that. So that's Tunisia for you. We can go on to other countries and look at it. But what is up with the Nigerian economy? I saw an article in Nairametrics, site that is managed by and run by a friend. One of my resource people I like to reach from time to time, Ugo Bichiku. But this was an op-ed contribution to nairametrics.com. It says, from pandemic to poverty, Nigeria's future with COVID-19. From pandemic to poverty, Nigeria's future with COVID-19. And it reads, the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, which originated in China, has spread as well. We know all that, blah, 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 blah. It says, industrial facilities have been shut down in some affected countries, and the global supply chain has been disrupted. Brent crude prices have fallen below $22 a barrel, the lowest since 2003. The lowest since 2003. You see what we have in states. Oh, we have a call coming through. The states move to Abuja to share the oil money, and then that is no longer feasible right now. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thanks for joining us. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Solomon.
All right, Solomon, where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, I call you from Rumosi.
Okay, please go on.
Yeah, longest time. I want to contribute. You talked about the strategies. This thing be put in place. I want to suggest that government. Hello.
Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah. I want to suggest that our government in a federal, state levels, they should provide works. I think they should create some works for our youth.
Jobs.
In order for, so that when the lockdown is over, they will have work to benefit, not a task force. Task force at the end, they wouldn't do anything.
Okay. You think the task force is not good? Why? I mean, the task force is not a employment creation per se.
It's not encourageable. You know why I say so?
Tell me why.
Because these boys then, they will think that this thing will last forever. At the end of the day, the thing will vanish. And where would they work again?
Okay.
Which task force? Who would they guide? Nobody that they will guide anymore. So for government to do a nice job, let them create jobs for the youth, not to lure them to task force. Already we have forces that are defending us, which is police and others of the forces. So it's needless for them to move forward.
Okay, you want create jobs. Thank you very much, my brother. And how is Rumosi today?
We are doing good. We are doing good, but it's just that we are scanty. You know, some people have traveled. So
going to the village.
Everywhere is scanty.
Oh, as well. Thank you, my brother. Nice, and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. God bless. Okay. So he says jobs is what he said. Please call me on 080-620-99556, 080-620-9955. Kofi Bartels, please take it slowly. 080-620-99556. I'll read some of your messages here before we get back to the article I was reading. Eze Chinyere, John Nyali Wechi says, when you have a prof... Okay, I think I've read this one already. Okay, Izuchuku Pascal 90 says, Kofi, did you really watch the video? If you did, can you help me tell your governor to do the same? You don't get mouth. Which governor are you talking about? River State? You don't get mouth. Acho Modu is here. Acho says, is it not obvious that Cross River State is far ahead of River State and other heavy revenue earning states in Nigeria, in the Niger Delta in particular, and other regions in general? I don't think so, Acho. Cross River State still has a lot of issues with revenue. When you say, Acho, call me. You have to call today. You have to call. I want to debate with you. Acho, when you say Cross River State is far ahead of River State, how do you mean? How? Is it in terms of revenue? Is it in terms of the size of the economy? Is it in terms of GDP? How? I don't know. So Acho call. But Acho Omodu says, Governor Ide is not losing sight of a time after COVID-19, and so is making post-COVID-19 plans that will be beneficial to Cross Riverians. It's a different ball game here in River State, where a multiplicity of task forces are making life a hell for micro and small businesses and other inhabitants. There is no futuristic plan here in River State. People live in fear and panic. I'm not living in fear and panic, my brother. I'm in River State. I'm not living in fear and panic. Actually, I'm not living in fear and panic. I went out today, and I came back home, and I'm home, safe and sound. So I'm not living in fear and panic. um, says life is brutish, poor, nasty, solitary, and short in rivers. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, in Cross River State, they have the issues as well, my brother. But your point is made, and we appreciate it. Okay, Acho, if you want to call, let's talk about it. Feel free to do that. The number to call again is 080-620-99556. You're almost out of time. So let's get back to the article asking you, what should the Nigerian states do to stimulate the economy post-COVID-19? Don't forget the price of a barrel of Brent crude oil fell. And I know, there are some people who are saying, crude is going to get back to the levels it was before and is rising. It's probably going to get to, $80 a barrel. We have a call coming through. But, I mean, can we plan, with uncertainty? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thanks for your time. What's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
Okay, I'm calling from Port Harcourt. My name is Fred.
Fred, welcome. Fred, please go on.
I just want to make a contribution.
All right, please go on.
Governance, you cannot give what you don't have. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Leaders all over the world. I know that this pandemic came as a surprise. It took the world by surprise. But it also gave some other leaders in other parts of the world who were not affected initially the time to think ahead. Do you understand?
Okay.
So some leaders who were proactive enough understood what to do, before the pandemic came to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I look at, the decisions that the government has taken, it's not as if that they are bad decisions, but decisions that fall short of real thinking. Only one person cannot think. Do you understand? That's why leaders all over the world, they have a strategic think tank, people that can think. River State has the resources, human resources. I know that the Commissioner for Health is a professor of medicine, a lecturer in the University of Port Harcourt. I also know that the Deputy Governor is very senior health personnel. I know good Rivers people who are very, very vast in the art of this strategic thinking. The Governor, he is the chief driver. All what he needed to do was to assemble those who can really help him to fashion out a clear, cut-out strategy. Do you understand? On what to do. Do you understand?
Okay.
A leader is supposed not to even show emotions. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So people have to think through a lot of your policies before you come out to bring them out for public consumption and implementation. So, but you see, the governor wanted to, it's not as if he has tried, but, it's bigger than him. He ought to have really consulted very, very widely, open up this strategic thinking space, and let people who understand what to do support and help him.
What makes you think that His Excellency, the Governor of River State, is not consulting widely and allowing people who have ideas to help him with strategic thinking?
See, River State, like I said, we have a professor of medicine that is his commissioner for health. Mm-hmm. How many times have you heard that commissioner talk in this kind of situation?
A number of times. But I mean, we're talking about economy right now, though.
Sorry?
A number of times, but, we're talking about the economy right now.
It's not visible. The commissioner for health is not visible. The deputy governor, who is a health professional, is not visible. We have consultants of public health in Port Harcourt, a lot of them, River State indigenes. You don't hear any of them. These are the people the governor ought to have assembled as his think tank. Do you understand? What Cross River State is doing, yes, the man is a professor. He knows how to solve problems. He would have done some work at the background. People would have given him a blueprint on what to do. And that's why what the man is just implementing. In Rivers State, unfortunately, with the zeal that the governor has, he cannot, zeal without knowledge cannot deliver results at this kind of critical. So talking about zeal, the governor has it, he's passionate, he wanted to solve the problem. He's just going about it on his own, without input from people who are knowledgeable on the subject matter. Do you understand? So that is just the difference. I am praying, look, shutting down Port Harcourt at the time that businesses, countries all over the world, states even in Nigeria, are easing out to see how they can implement post-COVID strategy. To lock up the state at that time is really, really uncalled for, honestly speaking. And it has not solved any problem. It has not helped anybody. It has not helped businesses. Do you understand? It has killed the economy. This River State was even suffering from hardship. To now subject the businesses around here to this kind of lockdown is really, really pathetic.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, with all the zeal that the governor has showed, which I admire, do you understand? He has not gotten the right mix of consultation and strategy that can help him at this critical time. That is my contribution.
Okay, before you go, you've complained and you're not obviously not happy about certain things, and you've talked about getting people around you. What are some of the strategies, if you were to have a say, you think the River State government should implement? Because we're discussing ideas here, and you've given one idea: get people around you to advise you. What are some of the strategies you think the government should be considering?
Here, Cross River State is just using what they can do, okay? River State, we have a lot of things the governor can do.
Okay.
First of all, there are no businesses in this Port Harcourt.
Really?
Businesses, look, yes.
When you say there are no businesses in Port Harcourt, I mean we have businesses all around.
Businesses are shutting down now. So this is not the time to lock up the states.
That's debatable, my brother. Don't you think? When you say businesses in Port Harcourt are shutting down, isn't that debatable?
Yeah.
I know business. I know businesses that are springing up, new, fresh businesses.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying, compared to how Port Harcourt was, say like 10 years ago, do you understand? Businesses have shut down from that recession of 2016. The city has not recovered fully on that.
Isn't this a Nigerian thing? The whole Nigerian economy.
It is, but Port Harcourt, because of the cosmopolitan nature and how the state was configured before, the post recession era, things have just even started to look like they are picking up. Do you understand? Before this pandemic came up. So what I expected the governor to do, and what he can indeed do, is to see how, businesses can open up the space. First of all, the state is too restricted. This is too authoritative. It's just as if everything is centralized. Things don't work out like that. You need to liberalize the system. The system needs to breathe first.
When you say this River State is too restricted, what do you mean? How do you mean?
Kofi, the way the state is going, nobody can come out to even. It's just as if the governor does not listen to anybody. Do you understand?
Okay.
Now, what that means is that people are going to be afraid. People that can offer him help, people that can assist him in fashioning out the best economic policies that the states can leverage on at this time. You understand? Nobody can talk. Once you say anything, it's like you are the enemy of the governor. But that is not how governance should be. In fact, people who say things, they are the people that should guide the governor. But nobody can say anything in River State. Everybody is short. Nobody can make any suggestion. You make suggestion, they just tag you like you are an enemy. And at the end of the day, the governor is doing whatever he likes to do or whatever he feels is correct, which is fine. But that will not take him very far. Okay, look at River State. The way River State is structured, I expect that the governor should even be very, very firm and bring out a strategy for agriculture in terms of fishing. Look at the environment. Not one fishing investment that has been put on ground that is working. What does that tell you? These are the things that I'm talking about. We have people in this state that are very, very knowledgeable in those areas. The governor needs to open or you need to liberalize the system so that things can work. So that only one person, government cannot employ anybody. Government alone cannot create jobs. People have to come in. So, but you need to liberalize them. You need to open up the space, open up the business space. You understand? Everybody's afraid. Do you understand? Even genuine business people, the problem of touting and all that has even chased a lot of them. Made it very, very difficult to run companies. I have friends who relocated back to Lagos and Calabar just because of the way the environment in River State is. And as a Rivers man, I feel very, very pained. Looking at resources being fettered away, no meaningful investment. Tell me one Rivers man, how many Rivers people have investment? How many of them? If it's not hotels, tell me the kind of businesses that they are doing. But that shouldn't be. Rivers people should invest in manufacturing. They should invest in production. And that is how they can create jobs and liberalize the system. Government cannot do everything. But the person at the helm of affair of government should be able to know that he alone cannot do it. You call others. I expected that the Commissioner for Health, who is a professor of medicine, should be at the forefront of this. He has colleagues, he has associates that can help the state to fashion out a strategy, both during and post-COVID-19 era, so that the state can function as other states.
Okay.
It's shameful at times when I listen to people talk on radio, you know. It's very, very shameful.
All right, my brother. You've said a lot. I've scribbled some things down, which I will be emphasizing some more. I want to thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, interesting contribution there. If you're watching, we have clocked 1 hour and 6 minutes. We'll soon have to say goodbye. But if you want to call, feel free to call. If you'd like to drop your comments, feel free to drop your comments as well. But the number to call, 080-620-99556. The number to call again is 080-620-99556. My name is Kofi Bartels. This is Late Night Talk. And we're asking you basically a simple question. As the easing of the COVID-19 lockdown in parts of Nigeria continues, what strategies can government at the state level put in place to help the economy recover? Very simple question. In Cross River State, for instance, an anti-tax agency, whatever that means, has been inaugurated to make sure that certain small businesses are not taxed. What do you think of this idea? What other strategies would you suggest? You see, the gentleman who called earlier has spoken so well. I'm not going to judge Governor Ben-Adi, on his record, but we're just going to look at the strategy he's implementing, or he's saying he wants to implement, and the merits of this, and whether we can borrow such a strategy from that in River State. Another call is coming through. Hello, good evening. Yes, please, can you lower the audio where you are?
Okay.
I almost said 92.3. Have I said that here? Okay. Thanks for joining us, my brother. Please, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is God's Will. I'm calling from Onelga.
Oh, well, how is Onelga today?
Very well, brother. Very well.
Did you run away from Port Harcourt because of the lockdown?
No. I'm on duty.
Oh, okay. And how was the work?
Very well.
Oh, great. Nice to have you. Please go on.
Hello.
Yes, go on, please. We can hear you.
Okay. And I want to talk about the post-COVID-19 stuff we were talking about.
Yeah.
My own opinion is the governor should look for a way to get the touts out of the streets after now.
Get the touts out of the streets after now.
Yes.
How is that a post-COVID-19 economic strategy?
Okay, you know how the private businesses in Port Harcourt is one of the things that have been thriving in this state. If you check, people have lost so much. They've been sitting at home. Businesses have closed for a very long time. And after now, people might go borrowing money to start up their business, to build their businesses from scratch again. And you see boys that
Okay.
And the person will start giving them the money. They'll start empowering things and all that. Before you know, the man that owns one small office somewhere, they'll break into his office, carry his generator, carry things and all that. We're talking about how to build the economy again.
Yeah.
And you don't expect me, after I've stayed in the house for over 2 months, I wake up, open my office, probably go to the bank to get a facility, and one stupid boy from nowhere comes and starts disturbing me. You know how this thing works. We're not talking about them now because I can't say they should create jobs. With these things that have been happening for a very long time, the government doesn't create jobs. They don't create jobs. People create jobs. You understand? After now, they should try and get these people off the street. They should give. I saw Governor Ayade crying. For me, it's okay, but I don't take those emotions too serious because
Same
I
here.
don't believe in. Yeah, I don't believe in them things. I don't believe in. But
So someone said it's audio tears.
no. It is for me. It is. Because I know what I'm saying. My wife has a business. She's been locked down, and I knew what she goes through every day. You understand? In Port Harcourt, I knew. I know what she goes through. So for me, after now, I would not tell him to not take taxes or whatever.
Okay.
For me, he should cut taxes from the private investors.
Okay.
Those people that have small businesses, you can cut. I'm not saying 100%, but you can cut about 60%. Let them pay, but get this South out of the street. All those boys that empower people vehicles and take them to somewhere, somewhere, and we'll be shouting every day on radio.
It's because it's been on for years, my brother. What makes you think this is the time it's going to end? Since I came to River State, it's been on, and now, moreover, the boys are even more hungry now because things are not been moving. Isn't it going to get worse?
That is why he needs to sit down with his people and plan on how to get these people off the street after this period. People are angry. People are hungry. People are at home. Other people, people are leaving the country. People are suffering here. And you don't expect people, at the time, they will not be able to control what is happening. They will not be able to control it. You can't tell me that one man will come out, raise 40 boys, and they'll be empowering people's car, taking it somewhere. After now that people are hungry, and you see allow it to happen, no, it's not good. It's not good. For me, I think this period, he and his cabinet should plan on how to help people grow their businesses in Port Harcourt.
This issue of touts, tax, urchins, and people who just go around, some of these guys, it's a very important point you've made. And I think the last caller or last two callers also raised something like that. Since I came into River State when Amechi was governor, we've been crying about this thing, and it's until now. Some of these people are armed with the blessing of the politicians because some of them are their boys, and it's like settlement. They harass for baskets, revenue. Even this COVID-19 washing bucket became a choppings. COVID-19 bucket. This tap bucket became a chopping. Will it end? Because the politics is involved, the ethnicity is involved. Will it? How possibly can the government end such a practice? It looks like it's part of our way of life, and brother.
No, see, Kofi, I strongly believe that everybody has to be responsible at some time in his or her life. These things have been working for them over time, and we just notice what happened in the world today. People, in as much as I know people around me, I know the suffering people are going through. I know plenty people that are going through hell now. Not because they cannot do something, but because you cannot go out based on the policies of the government and for our own good. Let me use that word. Because of the COVID-19 thing. So, and people, when there's money somewhere, you're eating from the money, nothing is coming into that pot. You know how it's going to look like in the next 1 week. But I'm talking about 2 months now. People are sitting at home. The government can sit today and say, okay, let us build these people's business. Let us help them build their business. One way they can help, it's nothing. Stop this voice. the governor is the chief security officer of the state. And we know that he can work with the security agencies and they can stop this boy. All of us knew what happened several places in this state.
Mm-hmm.
I was here doing what when somebody almost killed all of us here.
Mm-hmm.
So they can do it. What I'm trying to say is they should be responsible for one. They should be responsible to the people they said they came to serve. That's what they told us, that they came to serve us. They should be responsible to us, to help build. I'm not saying they cannot build our business, but they can help us with this one. Because after now, people are coming out with nothing, absolutely nothing. We know the businesses that are running now. But after this time, when people want to start life again, they don't expect towns to start stopping them on the road. We're not talking about the Nigerian police now. We're talking about riffraff, urchins, coming to carry people's things from the street. Small business, one man opens his little office to run a business, and you come and be disturbing him. After now, you don't know where he goes to get money. And even the banks will rigorously seek to get facility from the bank. He should try. I mean, this is just one small thing I'm saying. The governor of River State, His Excellency, Nelson Wike, should try help the people that live and do businesses in River State. So grow their businesses. I'm not saying you should give them money. You should try and make sure these urchins, these criminals, do not disturb people after this period. They should allow people to do their businesses. I mean legitimate business. They should allow people to do their businesses and grow their businesses so that the economy will grow.
Brother, you've said a lot. We pray, we hope, and we can only but hope. I want to thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, come on.
He's been so strong, adamant, resolute about the importance of getting the tax urchins, those who go around harassing business people, collect money from them in the name of revenue. So the government should get them off the streets. Okay, post-COVID-19 economic stimulus strategies is what we're talking about today on the state level, or at the state level. Call right now, 080-620-99556. As the easing of the COVID-19 lockdown in parts of Nigeria continues, what strategies can government at the state level implement to help the economy recover? In Cross River State, for instance, an anti-tax agency has been inaugurated to make sure that certain small businesses are not taxed. Let's head over to Cross River State.
We implore you to know that your responsibility from today going forward is to put an end to illegal taxes on people. We have a tax law here that prescribes those who are exempted from tax. All those categories of people and those that from time to time may be so announced by the governor, including every single hotel that has less than 50 rooms in Calabar and in the whole state, today are exempted from payment of tax. We have exempted all Okada drivers, taxi drivers, airport taxi drivers. We have exempted small salon owners, small catering and restaurant points, mama put, eatery points. All those small basic survival people selling of produce, struggling to make a living, they have been exempted today from paying tax. We have exempted them because it is better for me as a governor that I rather task my brain than to tax my people. And great perseverance, you have the right for anybody who comes before you to demand tax. You have the right to say, stop, the governor have said we should not pay tax. Why will a small person carry banana from his farm to go and sell, and produce people are there taxing him for produce? Why would somebody carry granite to go to market and somebody is putting a checkpoint on the road and collecting money from the granite seller? This is not Ben Ayade. This is not my nature. I am not wired for this insensitivity to a weaker person. I have abolished produce tax. Let farmers earn their money. Let them keep their money. Because you didn't give them fertilizer, you did not irrigate the soil, you did not prepare the soil for them, you did not do the land clearing for them. Why do you want to tax them? Why do you put pressure on that your small brother or sister whose situation is much worse? Why will we expect that people who don't have scholarship for their children, We don't have good schools. They struggle to pay, struggle with the uniforms, struggle to have security in their small businesses, struggle to get water with their borehole, struggle with generator, and government is providing almost nothing to come back to such people and tax them. I think this is the greatest injustice. I never knew that 5 years into office as governor, I would still find somebody who could live in a thatch house in Cross River State. I almost cried because I knew how prepared I was, but it didn't end the way I had dreamt for the state. And I just think that somewhere God will just help me, because I really wish I could really help. I really wish I could help. It's very painful, truly. I can't put 5 years and I've not been able to do the change I wished. I know of some small people whose businesses are closed because even after signing into law that they should stop collecting tax, I still find people giving political appointment for a completely different thing. And you see them go back to these same people and dragging them and seizing and closing their shops and taxing. If we have to pay tax, let me contact the anti-tax agency. They will give us a tax code whether we fall under the category of those to pay tax or not. So your vehicles, your public life, your telephone numbers will be in the public domain, because everybody must call you to clear whether they have to pay tax or not to pay tax. And so I pick only men of God and women of God to serve here. I charge you that by the time you are done, let your agency be a world-class example for other states and countries to emulate. If God sees into my heart, let him take every single wealth I have. If he can make every single Cross Riverian rich, if he can take every single Cross Riverian out of poverty, let Ben Ayade and the Ayades, let us be poor for Cross Riverians to be comfortable. Let me see Calabar thrive again. And this is part of my post-COVID-19 response.
All right, welcome back. It's still Late Night Talk. Kofi Bartels here. We're just looking at the whole policy. If you have views on Ayade's governance style and, whether it's the best governor or not, that's not what we're looking at today. What I took from what he said is this. There's certain people, certain strata of society who are struggling to eke out a living. And these are the same people that some of these small political appointees or, aides or people who are politicians, boys and all that go and then collect tax from, But they also go to the big businesses as well. Whilst I agree with Governor Ben Ayade that, the Okada man should not be paying tax anymore, for now, drivers, taxi drivers, hairdressers, mama put, farmers, no more produce tax, etc. I mean, listening to the governor of River State say that, taxis, commercial and private vehicles should not carry more than 2 persons. Keke should not carry more than 2 persons. How are they going to make ends meet? You carry 2 people, the driver and 1 person, with which fuel? So yes, indeed, they need help. But it goes beyond saying that they should not be taxed. I know that maybe the Cross River State situation, the Cross River State experience is a bit different from states like River State and maybe Delta State that are, overflowing with oil money. Well, not necessarily overflowing, but have oil money. So governments that state governments that can go beyond just providing tax breaks. That is a start. But they can go beyond providing tax breaks to providing, stimulus packages. In the United States of America, when they had the recession, the economic crisis, they had stimulus packages for businesses who were hit by the recession. So business can't just run on nothing. They need money to be able to operate. And for some of them, they are in debt because they took loans and they've not been able to work with the money to be able to repay the loans. And the loan dates are fast approaching. Some of them, the loan dates are already due. How are they going to pay back the loans? So then governments need to now sit down with banks and say, okay, if you've given businesses, SMEs, because SMEs It's a wide strata, different levels. If giving them loans, can we have something like a delay for the collection of loans? Someone talked about landlords. Okay, that's an idea. Because beyond giving them a tax break, they need a stimulus. They need an injection to enable them kickstart. They need something to kickstart them. Some of these businesses that the governor of Cross River State wants to give a tax break are dead. They're not coming back. He's there crying. For 5 years as a governor, you are saying that you can't believe you see a tax roof. Well, that is an indictment on you as a governor. Because what have you been doing for 5 years? Mr. Governor, stop crying. Wipe your tears and work. Work. You have some years to go. Work. Stop being emotional about it. If you're saying that for 5 years you now have seen a tax roof, it means that you failed. When Donald Duke was governor of Cross River State, he had a plan to make sure that every single road in Calabar will be tarred. And he started working on it. So I mean, if you have a plan, what is your plan as Governor Ayade of Cross River State? If you don't want to see any thatched roof, is that realistic? Because your goal must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. What was he expecting? I don't know. So it's all some emotional. I don't know. Totally unnecessary, really, and I'm not. I can't be bothered or moved by Governor crying. Nah, what is the tears going to do? What would they do to help people? Please. But strategy, I applaud him on strategy. Tax breaks, great. Having people to work to ensure that those who are supposed to enjoy the tax breaks are not taxed. Fantastic, I love it. But it goes beyond giving tax breaks. People need an injection. Some of these businesses that are dead or that are being given tax breaks are not coming back. They are gone. They're dead. They don't even have anything to revive them. They don't. How are they going to start again? Things need to restart. Is it a loan? Is it a grant? Is it a stimulus package? That is necessary. But I commend Ayade for what he's done so far. Now, those who need tax breaks are not just the Okada drivers, the taxi drivers, the hairdressers, mama put, farmers, even the medium enterprises and large businesses need breaks as well. They do. I like something Ayade said, which is hotels that are below 50 rooms will be given tax breaks. That's a great one because the hotel industry, the hospitality industry has been really, really affected negatively by the lockdown. The hospitality industry has been really affected negatively by the lockdown. So that's great. But we need to see even more. Some people have more than 50 rooms, maybe 55. They are suffering. Some have 60. They are suffering. One could give a 2-month holiday, 1 month holiday. All hotels in River State, in Cross River State, in Lagos State, don't pay tax. Let people come in. So you can use the money to even do some things, because things have changed with COVID-19. You need to have certain, infrastructure in place because of the new world we live in hotel. In River State, what is the agricultural policy? This same Governor Ben Ayade provided 8,000 people jobs on the spot. I have the video somewhere. We'll play it some other time. Where on the spot he gave admission to employment to 8,000 people and placed them on 30,000 naira monthly salary. Most of them were going to work in agriculture. They call it the Ayade Industrial Park, Calabar. Most of them were going to work in agriculture. He held what he called a job carnival and just told people to just come and write your name down. We don't care who you are, whether you finish school or not. Just come and work. And they had tractors. They had different agricultural equipment. They were going to teach the people how to use this equipment. Some will be sweeping. Some will be clearing grass. Some will be planting. Some will be harvesting. Some will be watering, etc., etc. Agriculture is a very, very serious area to look at. So, and I'd like to end by suggesting and supporting what all of you have said. but in particular, let me see. These are the suggestions we have. Some of them today. Someone said Governor Wike should get an economic advisory team. Someone said we should have tax breaks in River State. Another listener or caller rather suggested opening up of the business space so that jobs will be created. Businesses are scared of the touts. Someone said get touts off the street after COVID-19. Acho Moro is in with his comment. He says, Kofi, available reports from monthly FAC, that's the federal allocation. I don't forget the name, sorry. FAC. What is FAC again? Show that River State gets more than 10 times what Cross River gets monthly, but replaces River State side by side with Cross River State. Can you say River State is anywhere near Cross River? Cross River State is progressing. There is ease of doing business in Cross River State than it is in River State. Comparatively, Cross River State is thinking River State is task forcing what has been the policy on agriculture in River State in the last 5 years. Are you asking me? Oh, my good friend and brother Basoneo Rue says they should stop the task forces the same way they started them. Ha ha ha. There's actually a lot of work those boys can do in farms across the state. Channeling that energy into food production, they should be sent there. Interesting. Peter D is on YouTube. He says the governor is using reverse intelligence on the people of Cross River. Cross River State. And he says it's a very poor PR. So he thinks it's reverse psychology. He's trying to get them. Thank you very much. Godswill Unwabagi says, even when I do not believe what Ide is saying is coming from his heart, I love what he said. I hope every other governor can implement it. Godswill Nwabigi is back on Facebook. He says, can you imagine for 5 years you're only knowing now that some people are living in touch house? My brother, you tire me. You tire me. So who has failed then? Oh man, these are politicians. And it came to cry. May God help us. I'd like to end by picking what one of the callers says. River State government, since we're in River State, and other governors around Nigeria, get an economic advisory committee to drop a stimulus strategy for your economy. Enough of one-man show. Enough of I can do it all on my own. Enough of nobody speak. If you speak, you're out. Enough of everybody's afraid to get people. Bible says in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Bible says in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Even people are not qualified enough. Once they're around you, something will spark. But we have people who are qualified in River State, even overqualified. And that is what I think the state governors around Nigeria and River State should do. Get a team in Akwa Ibom State. I watched the video. The governor inaugurated a economic policy and strategy team or committee or something like that. We need that in River State. My name is Kofi Bartels. I'm signing out. This has been Late Night Talk for today. Tomorrow return with an interesting edition of the program. God bless you. Good night.